Greetings, Victory Seekers. You're watching Onward with Onrie. I'm your humble host, Onrie Kompan, and this week we're going to discuss the difference between passion and desire. I am of the firm belief that passion will take you very far in life. Desire, however, will not. Think about all the people you know who say that they want to be artists but can't take criticism. Think of all the people who say that they want to be professional athletes despite the fact that they barely ever train. Think of all the people you know who make excuses and blame others because they haven't achieved their goals. These people are ripe with desire, but lack the passion to move forward. Now think about the people you know who inspire you to be greater. These are the people who excel because they work hard and they encourage you to do the same. These are the people whose words are backed by actions. These are people who understand that there is no such thing as an overnight success. These kinds of people carry their own weight and inspire others to do the same. These people are empowered by passion. If you want to succeed at what you want to do, you need to keep pressing on when you're being put down, even and especially when you're feeling insignificant and untalented. You don't get better when you want to work. You get better when you don't want to do it, but apply yourself with as much passion as you do when you want to work. You see, having passion means you're constantly looking for ways to improve yourself. You're not just going through the motions for the sake of it. You don't just have the desire to get better. It becomes a necessity. Back in my college days, my roommate and I were putting together outlines for a video game concept that we came up with. We had many fruitful, productive discussions, but rarely was any of the stuff we discussed actually recorded or brought to life in any form or fashion. It was all just one long conversation after another. After a while, it all just became talk. My roommate spent most of his days playing video games. He literally only got up to go to the bathroom, eat, and occasionally watch movies. Then, before I knew it, I was playing video games with him. We were both hooked on Final Fantasy XI, and goddamn was that game addicting. I lost entire days in our apartment playing online. My entire life was suddenly revolved around this game. I was even setting my alarm clock to wake me up so that I could complete certain quests, like getting a chocobo. Then one evening, I went out to see a movie with a fellow writing friend of mine, and he was telling me about all the writing projects he had been working on. And then it dawned on me that I hadn't done anything productive for an entire month. I was ashamed. Now don't get me wrong, I love playing video games as much as the next guy, and I have nothing against them. But if I wanted to call myself a writer, the fact of the matter was that I had to be writing. Eventually, my roommate lost his job because he was ducking out early and not fulfilling his obligations so that he could come home and play more video games. Our apartment was always dark. It was dreary and depressing. But fortunately, since he lost his job and could no longer pay his rent, it was easy to kick him out without ruining our friendship. It was like everything had conveniently fallen into place so that I could get my life back on track. We remained friends for a short while, and in that short while, he introduced me to a K-drama called The Immortal Yisun Shin. The rest, as they say, is history. I still play video games today. In fact, I'm in Niflheim trying to find Ivaldi's armor in God of War so that I can finally kill the last Valkyrie, who's being a real fucking bitch. Fuck that stupid Valkyrie. I'm gonna whoop her ass just as soon as I upgrade my shit. Look, the bottom line is that even though I may still play video games, it doesn't consume every aspect of my life. And even though I still play and love video games, it certainly isn't allowed to get in the way of work. If it consumed every aspect of my life, I would never get anything done. Those of us who are passionate can find a way to be creative and productive while still enjoying life. If you rely on desire, then you'll be spending all your days wasting away and not finding any sort of practical use for what you're actually trying to achieve. The struggle is real. Being a professional means you know that you need to separate work and play. It means that if you don't get your work done, that it's not acceptable, and that you always hold yourself 100% accountable. This is why I'm very selective of who I hire to work on my books. I want talent that is committed and driven to succeed. I don't care what they do when they aren't working. They could be shooting up heroin and banging their heads against the wall for all I care, so long as when it's time to work, they are focused and ready to give me the best work, because nothing less will do. There are people out there who are naturally talented in certain areas, and those people can drive you crazy when they lack any sort of drive. This is exactly how I felt about my roommate. I would argue that he was actually way more talented and skilled than I was, but because he never applied his talent to anything, he literally disappeared off the face of the planet. An artist who doesn't art isn't an artist. You need to keep working on your craft, and when you fail, you need to learn why, get back up, and try again. No excuses. Push yourself to improve. Demand it. That is how you become great. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy your life when you aren't working or that you should always be working. Sometimes you'll be busy and sometimes you won't be as busy. But as long as you keep progressing towards your goals on a daily basis, you're doing just fine. And that's the difference between passion and desire. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to play God of War. I'll catch you guys next week with a brand new episode. And until then, fuck the Valkyrie. I mean, onward to victory.